What is going on, guys? It's your boy, Buckeye Baller here, back with another video. Today, the video I am making is about the All-NBA decade. So today we will be going through the biggest bust, the biggest disappointment of the decade, the most entertaining player of the decade, the player of the decade, and then the all-decade teams. So let's get right into the video. Let's start off. I'm going to start off with the biggest bust of the decade. Drafted in 2013 with the number 1 pick by the Cleveland Cavaliers is Anthony Bennett. Bennett is possibly the biggest bust of all time. Being the number 1 pick coming from Canada, he has only put up in his career 4.4 points and 3.1 rebounds. He's played for 3 teams in his 3-year career. The last time he played in the game was for the Brooklyn Nets in 2016. So just a very disappointing career for Anthony Bennett, as the Cavaliers got rid of him right after his first season. So with the most disappointing player of the decade, I'm going to go with Dwight Howard. 2010 and 2011, he played for the Orlando Magic. He put up 21.7 points and 14.3 rebounds. Now, for Dwight Howard, that is insanely good, and he was always MVP candidate when he was in Orlando. I really miss that Orlando team. They were really good. I feel like he could have attracted, or that team could have attracted some more free agents, and they could have built a super team. So he's played for 5 teams since 2011. He played for the Magic originally, but since then he's played for the Rockets, the Hornets, the Wizards, the Hawks, and other teams. Now, since 2011, he's averaged 14.3 points and 11 rebounds, and he's played with stars LeBron James, James Harden, Kemba Walker, Kobe Bryant, and Pau Gasol, and he's yet to win a championship, which I honestly feel bad for the dude. I mean, his career just dropped. Maybe he'll be able to win a championship this year, but you never know. So, once again, the most disappointing player of the decade is Dwight Howard. So, next we're going with the most entertaining player of the decade, and that player is Damian Lillard. I mean, look at this shot right here against Paul George for the series when he pulls up from right of the logo and drills the 3. I mean, that man is crazy. He has averaged 23.6 points and has a 36.8% three-point percentage. I mean, that's insane. He's also possibly the most clutch player of all time. I mean, this shot right here was probably the shot of the decade. It was amazing. Debatably the shot of the decade. Really knocking out a great team in the Rockets out of the playoffs, who I think the year previously or the next year made the Western Conference Finals. So, the moment we've all been waiting for. Player of the decade. The player of the decade goes, in my opinion, to Steph Curry. It was really between him and LeBron James, and I personally chose Steph Curry because he has won more in his career. Now, you might be saying, well, LeBron won 3 championships. Well, so did Curry. And in 2015 and 2016, even though Curry didn't win in 2016, he didn't have much help. Compared to the Cavs with Kyrie and Love and LeBron, him and Draymond Green and Klay Thompson are nothing compared to LeBron. So I would hand this to Curry. This decade, Curry has averaged 23.5 points, 6.6 assists, and 1.7 steals. So next we have the all-decade teams. The third team is Russell Westbrook and Damian Lillard at the guards. As I said earlier, Damian Lillard is the most entertaining player of all time. Super clutch. I just love watching him. I'm sure many of you can agree with that. He's just super clutch. Russell Westbrook. I took winning into this account. So as you see, I put Kyrie Irving over Russell Westbrook. Even though Russell Westbrook might be the better player, he hasn't won a championship. He's had many chances to, with that one Oklahoma City team, in 2012 when they lost to the Miami Heat. James Harden was on that team and Kevin Durant was on that team. So very good team, but just no winning yet for Russell Westbrook. I would switch it at the end of the year, but he hasn't won a championship yet, so I can't say anything about that. Now for these forward positions, I actually have 3 forwards, 1 forward filling in for my center. My 3 forwards are Paul George, Blake Griffin, and Kevin Love. This is the All-NBA third team. Paul George, another player. He overall very good player. I love watching Paul George. Right now, top 10 player in the league. He just hasn't won a championship yet. Blake Griffin, same thing. He's kind of fallen off a bit, but still just hasn't won anything. Has had tons of chances to in Los Angeles with the Clippers, but just the Clippers would choke every year, so not enough. Kevin Love, I would say he's not as good as Karl-Anthony Towns, but I left Karl-Anthony Towns off this list because he's still 3rd, 4th year and into his career and hasn't won like Kevin Love has. So for the All-NBA second team, I have Chris Paul and Kyrie Irving at my point guards. Chris Paul, just an overall great player. He hasn't won a championship either, but I do think he will find a way to get out of OKC. I think the biggest possibility will be him going to Los Angeles to the Lakers with LeBron and AD. I would love to see that happen. As much as I hate LeBron, I would love to see that happen. That would be awesome. And then Kyrie, like I said earlier, he might be not as good as Russell Westbrook is, but Westbrook hasn't won anything. Kyrie has won a championship in Cleveland and then managed to leave and lead the Celtics pretty far into the playoffs, although he got hurt. And then the Nets right now, who are a very good team. And then Klay Thompson and Kobe Bryant. Klay Thompson and Kobe Bryant are filling in for my 2 forwards. Kobe started off the decade with the championship in 2010. One of the greatest players of all time. Klay Thompson, also 3-time NBA championship winner. Best sidekick to probably of all time that anybody could ask for. I guess you could say that like Russell Westbrook and AD, but Anthony Davis, but I really don't consider Kyrie a sidekick. And Klay Thompson might be better than Kyrie, but I consider Klay Thompson more of a sidekick than like Anthony Davis, even though I guess you could consider them a duo, but I just feel like if Klay was always there when Steph needed him, and along this decade. So just a very good player in Klay Thompson. And then finally, Giannis Antetokounmpo at the center. Giannis just got really started like 2 years ago in his career. So great player, already an MVP, but I just don't see him compared to what this All-NBA first team is. I don't see Klay or Giannis even close to any of the calibers any of these players' calibers throughout the century, or throughout the decade. So, at the guard, we'll start off with our two guards. We have three forwards on this team once again. So, the two guards are the player of the decade, Steph Curry, and James Harden. Curry is the best player in the decade. It was either between him or LeBron, like I said earlier. But I only chose him because he's really influenced the way that kids play, and not only kids, but the NBA flows. Like, he's totally changed. Ball handling has become a huge part of the NBA now, and catch and shoot situations are huge. At the other guard position, I put James Harden, just a great shooter, MVP. He could have been a 4-time MVP if it wasn't for Steph Curry and Giannis Antetokounmpo. Knock those two out of the league. He's by far a 4-time MVP. And then LeBron James, forward, probably the most dominant NBA player of all time. Just because he's such a big force, just a big guy, and can really control a game with the snap of his fingers. Not only when he needs to, he can shoot. I don't like him at all, but I gotta respect how good he is. Kawhi Leonard and Kevin Durant are my other two forwards. Kawhi, NBA champion as of last year. He really carried that team. He's also a second LeBron James. He can do anything on the floor. Just get the supporting cast that he needs. All he needs is a few shooters and maybe even maybe another good player like Kyle Lowry, for example. Like, he's not an all-star, so like another Kyle Lowry would probably be like, I don't know, D'Angelo Russell, but I feel like D'Angelo Russell would be a little better. So maybe like Eric Bledsoe, like Giannis and Eric Bledsoe. That's the kind of duo I think of Kawhi Leonard. And then finally Kevin Durant. Even though I don't like him either, he still got an NBA championship and just a great player in general. Right now he's hurt for the Brooklyn Nets, but hopefully he'll be able to come back and continue his great career. So that'll be the end of the video. Thanks for watching. Please comment if you guys disagree. I know some of you guys watching hate me. No. Probably hate me now. But you disagree with me. Just comment down below. And I'll be back with another video soon. Hopefully it'll be a rebuild on Madden of the Indianapolis Colts. So, yeah, I'll be back. Peace.